Hello, it's April 2023, and I just want to do a quick follow-up with regards to my recent medical condition and everything else that I've been going through. And I just want to thank everyone for their support, their prayers, everything. Just thank you very much. So I did attend a hospital and had a procedure done, and kind of left with more more questions and answers, but I did get some good answers, I guess. So I had my the inside of my digestive system looked at, and the good news is there's doesn't appear to be anything life-threatening. Some biopsies were taken, and I won't know the results for a little while. They're backed up, I guess, the shortage of people and the workload and everything. So yeah, that's good. They did do a procedure where they did find some constrictions to open up those constrictions inside of my digestive system. So hopefully that will help. It could last, or I might have to go back and have the procedure done again, but they did manage to open up, which could be maybe even part of the problem of why my digestive system is not working as it should. So time will tell with that. I have to say the healthcare professionals here are outstanding, and even over the past week when I was in and out of the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, everyone outstanding. And I actually met a really interesting doctor. We ended up talking the other night, and very interesting person, very nice, very helpful. And yeah, I can't speak enough good about the healthcare here. Now, this was the inside of my digestive system. The damage to my digestive system primarily is on the outside, and I still have my other organs, liver, kidneys, and everything that may still be a serious problem for me. And then obviously some lung and heart issues there as well. So that's basically where I'm at right now. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone again for their support and their prayers and everything else. Couldn't have made it without you. And during this time, this week, I've just been thinking about my life, and it's really just want a home, just somewhere where I can call mine, and just live out the rest of my days in peace. You know, I think a lot of us, maybe even most of us, want a peaceful life. And anyone who's been following my story knows why I'm in the situation I'm in over many, many years, about 10 years. Just want to have a peaceful life. I've always wanted a peaceful life. In fact, even when I was a child, all I ever wanted was a home and a family to be able to provide and live a normal life. But life just kept putting me on these tangents, and then I struggled to get out of these tangents and get back on track, and then things just keep coming out of left field. And no better example is what happened in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Never even seen that coming. I couldn't even, in my wildest imagination, I couldn't have imagined what would have happened, like what happened to me there and the years that followed. And it's not just I want a place to call home. One of the things, I realized that, like, being in a city and even populated areas, so-called civilization, it's a sad world. You know, I always pictured having some land, not super far from, to being able to get supplies or whatever I need or medical help, but far enough that it's minimized the exposure to so-called civilization. And we just, when you look at the world today and how screwed up it all is, it's not a very happy place. And a lot of people are experiencing frustration, depression, even bitterness, anger, all these things, because so-called civilization is just a mess. We see injustice all the time, every day, nonstop. And I understand a lot of people only want to, say, for example, watch good things, happy things, because the reality is not that good. And I just can't believe the past 10 years of my life have been as they are. And the only good thing about, for example, how I've been living for so many years is not being exposed to, especially over the past several years, as much to the world and how disturbed the world is. And it's been a hard time living as I have been. I've gone weeks without food, and I remember, and I did a video or two about this, just to show how the world has become, what people have become, where I couldn't find water where I was in the wilderness, the outback, whatever you want to call it. There was no spring water source, so I went begging for water to anywhere, even people, and they refused water. One of the basic fundamental things for life, water, and people were no. I didn't have money to buy water, and there was even one, I was told about this one park off of this highway where there was a tap in drinkable water, what they call potable water. So I was going there when I would drive out to the highway to the spot, and then I actually had a guy tell me, I guess he was maintaining the area, that I can pay for it like everyone else. And I tried to explain my situation, and he didn't care. Now, luckily, I did find a fire department and just said, listen, I was so desperate. And they said, yeah, and then they gave me water. This is the world that we live in. And this is why being in cities and everything else, in towns, I'm just trying to think of how to describe it. I don't find any happiness or joy or peace for myself. And that's why, I've prayed to have just some land that I can just even go to and be without having to worry about crazy people or anything. Just, live my life and try to build something. And I've spent, since this began for me in 2012, 2013, trying to find work. Well, really 2013 is when things started to go downhill with that, and I can't find work because of the wrongful convictions against me. So I have a criminal record. I can't find employment that reflects my education or career history that I worked hard to achieve. And I look back throughout my career history, say in the early 1990s, working casually in corrections, to being a casual for a provincial government, and then having a couple of my own businesses on the side. All simultaneously, always been ambitious, driven to go ahead. And then we get into I supply taught public schools. I was card carrying for that. And I had extensive background checks and everything for all these positions. Even when I practiced law as agent, and the achievements that I worked hard to obtain. And even having the status of a peace officer while process serving. I worked hard for all these things, and finally working in the mental health industry. And everything, my whole life, everything I worked hard for was taken from me, ripped away from me, based on lies. And that's the hardest thing to swallow, is if somebody does something, you own it. And when I do something stupid, I'll own it. But I don't own any of this at all. And now, before I had the injuries from the May 4th, 2013 event, my hands are disabled, and I have other injuries from that. Plus I have just, other things, like arthritis in the knees, and just other stuff like would be more normal. And now, with whatever's going on inside of me, having to deal with that. So over the years, I couldn't find any work that I can do physically because of primarily of those injuries. You can't use your hands that well. I mean, we take for granted our hands. So, and I've tried, and I look back throughout my life, like say, for example, in law, even when I worked in the mental health industry, people were wanting me, begging me to come and work, and over the years since May 4th, 2013, I can't even get a job cleaning toilets. And over the years, I keep trying and trying, and then getting turned down over and over. Most of the time, not hearing back, and then being accepted, and then, for example, criminal record check, and there was even one time I tried stocking shelves. I couldn't keep up, couldn't do that, and tried it. Working at a farmer's market, couldn't keep up, couldn't even last half a day, but I tried. And it's just, years and years and years. It's not just like weeks or months, it's been years of just being put down like that. And part of me has a hard time asking for a pardon for the wrongful convictions, asking for a pardon for something that I didn't do, which includes all the peripheral allegations. It's a hard thing. And every time I've tried to look at the documents, my brain just turns off. Post-traumatic stress. Every time I have to relive it. And then somewhere in there's basically, you have to kind of own it, whatever you're asking, and I'm not owning anything. But at this point, I just pray just to have some land away from everything, and I have a couple of ideas how what I can do to work for myself and sustain myself, and I'd be more than happy to live that. Here I am, struggling, worrying about the essentials, food, gas, and then the few bills that I do have, making sure that they're paid, trying to figure out a way out of this. And I'm at the point now where I don't see a way out. But anyway, I kind of rambled on this tangent, but really I just wanted to let everyone know what's happening with my health. And yesterday left me with more questions and answers, but it is what it is. And we'll see what the results are, and I have some decisions that I have to make, because my situation in my life, I might not be able to continue with looking into my health any further than what I have. Everything costs money. Anyway, just want to thank you for listening and caring. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, when is it going to get easier? When you die.